Okay, so in this exercise, we nickname it as the hip rocks because you rock it front and back. The point here is to get yourself some stretch going on in the groin, in the lumbar, in the glutes, and also in the ankles. Every time you go back and forth, you just stretch different parts of your body. Another point of it is the balance. I want to be able to feel myself going slightly backwards, but not to a point where I feel the weight in the heels, because then I'll start to rock backwards too far. So I want to feel this nice balanced spot where I'm right in the middle and I can just drive straight up and straight down. So over here I'm helping Shane try to get the exercise right. He pointed out his toes a bit too much, so that tends to rotate the hips a bit too far out. We don't want it to rotate that far out. We actually want to have it slightly turned inwards. That way we can actually get the stretch going on in the hip itself, and you don't actually just feel it like as if it's just moving back and forth without actually stretching anything, which typically becomes the case when you turn your toes far out. Next thing is you want to make sure that his torso is always straight, or her torso is always straight. And when you stand, make it a conscious effort not to let the knees drift forward. There's a difference between the legs working and it drives right up, and the legs working and it goes forward. When the legs are working, let's call it the VMOs are working, it works together with the hip and the hamstring, and together they push the body right up. If one works and the other doesn't, there's this back and forth sort of a shift that will happen, which is what I previously experienced. Lift it, lift the glute. That's better. So in this exercise, the difference here is that he is not supposed to extend from the lumbar. He is supposed to keep the lumbar in a relatively neutral position, almost a slightly flexed lumbar position, and he's supposed to get the contraction from the glute to extend his body up. Occasionally, he does get back to the spine, but in general, he's getting the glutes to fire. The first time you do this exercise is a little bit awkward because you're kind of like, am my glutes firing or is my lumbar firing? But eventually, he just picks it up.
Go on. You record it? Yeah. See, make it look like a walk in the park. It is a walk in the park.
Over here, you're going to be able to see the difference between the gluteal back extension versus the normal back extension. Over here, notice that my neck is slightly flexed and my body is straight. And right over here, notice that my back is slightly extended. So I'm just doing this to show you guys the difference between normal extension and the gluteal back extension. Nice shirt, buddy.
Yang ke depan sangat. Control sikit untuk naik. Use your pantat naik. Yeah.
gotta use this insertion point between the hamstring and the glute to really push it up. For some reason, using that as a cue works so well.
Stretch it, use it. Good. Mantap fungsi bang.
Mantap fungsi.
Fungsi yang baik.
Sedap.
Nampak?
Geraknya.
Ibu dah tahu 40 kilo.
Betul. Oh, nice.
Ada sikit-sikit bang. Hey, I go spot bang. Hey, fuck you. Hey, go spot bang.
You spot? So guys and girls, I'm just trying out this new style of doing it, you know, putting a bit of humor into it, putting a bit of the daily life sort of things, and recording my training so that people can actually learn something, and I can also teach, which is fun, which is what I like to learn, what I like to do. So if you like it, tell me. If you don't like it, tell me anyway. Cheers.